Today we're counting down the 25 most legendary 9,999 plus aura moments in One Piece. From silent vows to war-ending entrances, these are the scenes that define the very soul of the series. Number 25, Kuma's Secret Burden. Before he was a warlord, before he was a cyborg, Bartholomew Kuma was a priest to perform miracles. In the Sorbet Kingdom, he used his pawpaw fruit to extract the pain and suffering from the elderly, condensing their agony into a massive, shimmering bubble. Then, alone in his church, he would take that entire burden into himself, enduring it all without a sword. This was Kuma's own Nothing Happened. That too, every week, a secret, repeated act of unimaginable compassion that defined his soul long before the world ever knew his name. The aura is one of pure, selfless love, a man who chose to carry the pain of his people so they could live peacefully. Number 24, Kobe's Honesty Impact. With Garb down and a colossal stone arm about to crush his comrades, the timid boy Kobe had to become a hero. Inspired by his mentor's own galaxy impact, Kobe channeled years of brutal training and unwavering justice into a single point. Leaping into the air, he unleashed Honesty Impact, a devastating hockey-infused punch that didn't just stop the giant arm, it shattered it completely. This was the aura of a student becoming a successor. The moment the future of the Marines announced his arrival with a thunderous roar of conviction. Big Mom, an emperor of the sea, tried to hit Jinbei with her story Stay Your Life, soul-stealing technique, a move that rips the lifespan from anyone who feels a shred of fear. Jinbei, the absolute unit, just stood there and declared his intention to join the future Pirate King's crew. Asking why he'd be afraid of a mere Yonko, he didn't even flinch. The sheer unadulterated disrespect and loyalty radiating from boss Jinbei was so potent that her devil fruit power had no effect. But your subscription to our channel will have a huge effect in creating more and better videos, so join our crew like Jinbei. Number 22, the Emperor versus the Admiral. The last time they met, Kizaru treated Luffy like an insect, a humiliation that led to the crew's total defeat. On Egghead, the Admiral arrived with the same casual arrogance, expecting to breeze past the new Emperor. But when Kizaru moved to attack, he was met not by a desperate boy but by a Yonko. In his base form, Luffy intercepted the Man of Light with a hockey-infused kick so powerful it forced the Admiral to stop dead in his tracks and defend with all his might. The aura wasn't in a knockout, but in the silent, stunning statement. The boy who ran from you at Sabaody now stands as your equal. Number 21, the Descent of a Demon God. On Egghead, a demonic summoning circle materialized on the battlefield. From its arcane depths emerged not a man, but a nightmare. Saint J. Garcia Saturn, one of the 5 elders, in the monstrous form of a spider like Ushi-Oni. His arrival was silent, but its effect was absolute. Every powerful fighter on the island was frozen, gripped by a chilling, authoritative pressure that was not hockey as we know it. This was the aura of pure cosmic horror, the arrival of an ancient, unknowable evil that signaled the final war would be fought against the very gods of the world. Number 20, the Leopard meets the Sun God. Rob Lucci returned to Egghead with a mastered, awakened devil fruit, ready for a rematch. But when he asked about Luffy's new wanted poster, he was met with a devilish grin and a transformation that defied logic. The drums of liberation echoed and Gear 5 was unleashed. The look in Lucci's face shifted from cold confidence to pure, unadulterated terror as he stared into the eyes of a laughing god. This wasn't a fight, it was a humiliation. Luffy toyed with him, turning the ground to rubber and treating the master assassin like a chew toy. The aura was that of absolute, terrifying dominance. The moment a top-tier government agent realized he was nothing more than an insect to a true emperor of the sea. Number 19, Luffy one-shots Bellamy. Bellamy the hyena relentlessly mocked the Age of Dreams and beat up Luffy and Zoro, who refused to fight because his kind wasn't worth the effort. But when Bellamy heard their friend and stole his treasure, Luffy came to collect. No gears, no named attack, just one punch, loaded with every ounce of righteous indignation, and that left a permanent fist-shaped imprint on Bellamy's face. It was a thunderous statement that those who mock dreams will be shattered by the conviction of those who hold them. Number 18, Galaxy Impact. To rescue his protege Kobe from a Yonko's fortress, Marine hero Monkey D. Garb didn't lead a fleet, he became a weapon. Launching himself from his ship high above the pirate island of Hachinosu, he unleashed Galaxy Impact. A single hockey-infused punch that didn't just hit a target, it obliterated the entire town in a cataclysmic shockwave. This was the raw, unfiltered power of a living legend. A man who cornered the Pirate King with his bare fists, reminding the world that the old guard can still shake the very foundations of the new world. Number 17, Luffy versus the Three Admirals. Fresh out of Impel Down and running in fumes, Luffy landed at Marineford only to find himself standing before the Marines' three strongest weapons: Admirals Aokiji, Kizaru, and Akengu. He was hopelessly outmatched, but what did he do? He grabbed a massive broken ship's mast and hurled it at them. The attack was effortlessly neutralized, but the sheer audacity of it, the aura of a boy willing to fight the apocalypse for his brother, was legendary. Number 16, the Divine Departure. Eustace Kid, fresh off his victory against Big Mom, rolled up to Elbaf and threatened the fleet of the Emperor, and in response, Shanks didn't waste time with words. Seeing a future where his allies were annihilated, he leaped forward and unleashed Divine Departure. A single, devastating slash infused with the haki of a Supreme King. The attack instantly knocked out both Kid and his first mate Killer, shattered their ultimate weapon, and ended their quest for the One Piece then and there. The aura was one of terrifying absolute hierarchy, a brutal lesson on the gap between a supernova and a true Yonko. Number 15, King of Hell, Three-Sword Style. Zoro's cursed word, Anma, was constantly draining his haki. Instead of fighting it, he stopped trying to suppress its will and let it draw out every last bit of his own kingly ambition. With the black lightning of Conqueror's haki crackling from his three swords, he declared the birth of a new style, King of Hell. This wasn't just a power-up, it was a self-actualization, the aura of a man who finally conquered his own limitations to step onto the world's biggest stage. Number 14, Luffy's Red Rock hits Kaido. The last time they fought, Kaido had defeated Luffy in a single blow. This time, as the rooftop battle began, Luffy walked past the two emperors, ate a Thunder Bagua, and responded with a punch that combined his brother's fire with his newly mastered Rio. The Gomu Gomu no Red Rock sent the seemingly invincible emperor crashing to the ground, a blow so powerful it shocked even Big Mom. This was the aura of glorious vindication, a clear message that the boy who got knocked down was now a man who could hurt an emperor. There was no victory here, just the cold, terrifying reality of the new world. One by one, Bartholomew Kuma made the Straw Hats vanish with a single touch of his hand. Zoro disappeared, then Sanji, then the rest, leaving Luffy completely powerless and screaming in agony over his failure to protect a single crewmate. This moment's aura is unique. It's the aura of complete and total despair, the crew's only true defeat, and the brutal catalyst for the 2-year time skip. Number 12, the Wi-Fi Haki Flex. Admiral Aramaki, a force of nature, was running rampant in Wano, poised to capture the exhausted heroes. Suddenly, a wave of black lightning crackled through the air and an overwhelming pressure forced the Admiral to his knees, screaming in pain. Shanks was miles away on his ship, simply asserting his will. This is the infamous Wi-Fi Haki, a remote conqueror's Haki Flex so potent it paralyzed a top-tier fighter from across the sea and forced an immediate retreat. The aura is one of pure, undisputed authority, a man who can command a battlefield he isn't even on. Number 11, Gomu Gomu no, Jet Gatling. Rob Lucci, the cold-blooded leader of CP9, had beaten Luffy to a pulp and stood over him, confident in his victory. But spurred on by Usopp's encouragement, Luffy staggered back to his feet and activated Gear Second one last time. He unleashed a furious, non-stop barrage of punches. A Gomu Gomu no Jet Gatling so relentless, it shattered Lucci's ultimate defense. This was the aura of pure willpower, a victory snatched from the jaws of defeat by a man who simply refused to be broken. Number 10, the worst generation versus 2 Yonko. For years, Kaido and Big Mom were the undisputed rulers of the New World. Then 5 punks from the so-called worst generation, Luffy, Zoro, Law, Kid, and Killer showed up on the roof of the Skull Dome and started throwing hands. They stood together against two legends, trading meaningful blows and proving the old era was officially on notice. The aura was pure, chaotic hype, a monumental shift in the world's balance of power, declaring that the future was finally here. Number 9. Luffy punches a celestial dragon. The rules were simple: never harm a celestial dragon. Then Saint Charles, a god among men, shot the fishman Hatchin. In that moment, the rules ceased to exist. Luffy walked calmly and deliberately down the stairs and landed a single glorious punch that sent the world noble flying. The impact, animated in glorious grayscale, was a nuke of pure cathartic justice, an act that declared his friends were worth more than any world order. Number 8. The Dark King. Silver's Rayleigh revealed himself. Just as all hell broke loose in the auction house, a seemingly drunk old man sighed, effortlessly shattered Kamey's explosive slave collar, and knocked out most of the guards with an invisible wave of pressure. It was Silver's Rayleigh, the Dark King, the legendary first mate of the Pirate King Goldie Roger. His aura was that of a retired lion who could still bring the entire jungle to a standstill with a yawn. The first casual conqueror's hockey flex that set a new bar for what true power looked like. Number 7. Roger vs. Whitebeard, a clash of conquerors. This wasn't just a fight, it was a conversation between gods. In a flashback, the two legendary captains, Goldie Roger and Whitebeard, leaped towards each other in their prime. Their hockey-infused blades stopped inches from making contact, but the space between them erupted in a massive explosion of black lightning that split the very heavens above. This single, non-contact clash radiates the aura of the absolute pinnacle of power, the god-tier benchmark against which all other top-tier fights are measured. Number 6. Shoot down that flag. Soge King, shoot down that flag. With these words, Luffy declared war on the entire world for a single friend. The smirking CP9 chief spanned and laughed at the idea, declaring that attacking the flag meant making an enemy of 170 nations, to which Luffy screamed, "You've got that right." The side of the world government's symbol burning against the sky is the aura of absolute defiance. A statement that a bond between friends is more important than any global power. Number 5. Luffy's Conqueror Haki awakens. With the Executioner's blades just second from ending Ace's life, Luffy let out a desperate primal scream from the depths of his soul. Stop it! A silent, invisible shockwave erupted from him, knocking out hundreds of seasoned soldiers and pirates. He had no idea what he had just done, but every top tier on the battlefield knew. This was Haoshoku Haki, the Haki of the Supreme King. The aura of a king discovering his crown, confirming this rubber boy was destined to stand at the top. Number 4. I am Monk D. Luffy, the man who will surpass you and become king of the pirates. After a decisive blow from Kaido, Luffy's heartbeat stopped. The battle was over, but then a faint rhythmic sound began to echo, the drums of liberation. He came back, his hair and clothes turned white, laughing uncontrollably as he began to warp reality itself. This was Gear 5, the awakening of the mythical zone, human fruit model Nika. It's the aura of pure, ridiculous freedom, a transformation that broke the internet, the power-scaling community, and Kaido's spirit all at once. Number 3. Nothing happened. Bartholomew Kuma offered a deal. Zoro could save his captain if he took all of his pain and fatigue. Sanji found him moments later, standing alone in a crater, drenched head to toe in his own blood. When a horrified Sanji asked what happened, Zoro's reply cemented his legend. Nothing happened. This isn't just aura, it's the very soul of a first mate, an act of unimaginable fortitude and a sacrifice so profound, it stands as one of the greatest character moments in all of fiction. Number 2. The One Piece is real. He was dying at his feet, riddled with hundreds of wounds and with half his face blown off by a cane. But with his last ounce of strength, Whitebeard used a live broadcast to send a final message to the world. Standing tall, refusing to fall even in death, his voice boomed across the globe as he roared his final world-shaking words, "The One Piece is real." It was the ultimate power move from the dying king, an aura of defiance so potent it reignited the Great Pirate Era and rendered the world government's victory hollow. Number 1. Shanks stops the war. The war was in chaos. Admiral Akenyu was on a rampage. Blackbeard was gloating and the young Marine Kobe was about to be executed for pleading for the violence to stop. Then out of nowhere, red-haired Shanks appeared, effortlessly blocking Akanu's magma fist. He calmly picked up Luffy's fallen straw hat, drew a line in the sand, and challenged anyone left standing. Marines and pirates alike to fight his crew, the world held its breath. No one moved. This is the pinnacle of aura. Not an attack, not a transformation, but a presence so immense it brought the world's most powerful factions to a dead stop. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, click on the next one for more. That said, see you in the next one.